Calm down.
This is the good stuff. We are here. It's already happening. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome back. Hello, Lauren. Hello to you at home. My name is Jay Ryan. You are watching the Cars and Comedy Show. We are in the late night Playset, and if you hear some chatter, it's because we've got great energy already. The place is full. We've got Lynn's already in the seat. Lindsey's on the stool. Nicole's with us tonight. We've got a producer up in Canada who's going to be here in a little bit. There he is. We've got you on Instagram, someplace there. Yeah. Gosh, the main topic. Holy crap, the Crest. I almost don't want to talk about it, but I guess we have to. Angela's Crest Highway, we will be discussing that and its current state. We will be discussing what's happening with Breakfast Club. In the meantime, we're also going to be talking. We can't talk about what Lynn's been doing on her travels because it's embargoed, of course, by a name we all know, but there's plenty to talk about. So, and Lindsey's here too, so maybe Lindsey will jump in as well. Here, look, everybody's here. Everybody's here. I'll bring it all the way around. Woo! Oh, and then, gosh, I always forget.
Ladies' night here on the Playset.
Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. Hello there, Mike in Canada. How are you, sir?
Greetings, sir. I'm here for an hour, and I'm excited about it.
Great. That's about all anybody will be able to take it as, I think. Anyway, we'll kick it off.
Here for all of it.
Kevin, you gonna buy a beaver? Sorry for the spit. We had to do it for the bubbles. Lindsey's never been here. She had to see some bubbles. That's right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Good evening to you at home, anyway. What's happening now? Oh, there we go.
It's very foamy. Okay, we're set.
The bubble machine could use a bath. I'll give you that. But whatever. They asked for more bubbles the other day. It was on the air. I didn't have time to go wash the machine, so I just added more fluid. Sorry, it's so foamy. Good evening, everybody. It's Thursday, March 16th, 2023. Nicole is already laughing. She's back with us, which is also a good thing. You weren't here on Tuesday. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Nicole. Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Do you love it when people do that? Is this thing on? My production guys, when I'm recording and I have the little lav mic here, they love it when I go bam, 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 bam. My editor loves it.
Do they love it especially because it's they've got
Yeah.
earphones?
Yeah.
on?
They've got cans on, and they're like, horrible human being. Why would you do that?
If there's another story just like that, tell it now while I set up our
There's
3 shots.
so many stories like that, you guys. No. Shooting is a really interesting thing if you have never made a car video before. Like, I love the people that I really like are the people that are like, she sucks at her job. And then all I want to say to them is, how about you get in a car, spend like an hour in it, and then talk about it while you're driving, like maybe even at speed, like quick, you're trying to do maneuvers and stuff, and then talk intelligently into a GoPro while you're trying to also like think, oh, is my hair okay? Like, do I have lipstick on my teeth? Maybe there's some spinach from lunch because no one's looking. And then you have to do it in these like soundbite nuggets, so you're not like, so that my editor can like make it snappy.
Should cut it all together.
Just try it. Dare ya? Just kidding. It's fun. I love my job.
You do love your job. Welcome back.
Best job I've ever had. Thank you.
Let's talk about your job.
This is
I mean, or whatever.
Yeah.
When you're here, you're in control.
No, that's not true. I'm only when I'm behind that desk. No, I'm still working at Kelley Blue Book. The end of this month is going to be 5 years there for me.
No.
Which is huge.
That is.
It's so amazing. I never in a million years, when I first got the job, I was like, I'm going to do this for a year at the most. And I just fell in love with it. You all know I'm a writer. I'm not really an on-camera personality, and
which doesn't make sense because you are an on-camera personality.
If you were inside my being, like you would know. It's definitely.
Just ignore this woman.
But like if you were like,
pay no attention to what she said.
If you had the neuroses that I do about myself, and like it's really an uncomfortable state of being is to be on camera.
Right, we all have it.
Right.
And we just see you from the outside. You look gorgeous.
So it's a fake it. It's a really kind of a fake it situation. But I've learned so much, and it's so cool to have always have something that you're kind of learning or like stretching yourself as a person. I'm convinced that it keeps you young and on your toes. So yeah, it's been almost 5 years, and I continue to say this is literally the best job I've ever had.
I think you're onto something too, though, isn't it? They're literally like if you learn something new every day, theoretically, the brain paths, the neural stuff stays alive.
Always.
Yeah. So you really are. Good.
Yeah.
How old are you now? 100 and because you look 28
billions of years.
I just had a
birthday.
Congratulations.
I'm actually okay with saying that I'm 53.
What? You don't look.
I'm 53 years old. I just turned 53.
You're not supposed to add years.
I don't care. I feel like we shouldn't be afraid of how old we are.
Yeah,
I embrace that.
That should be a celebration at this point.
Yeah, it feels good. I tell you, if I had the opportunity to go back to being 25 or 28, I would not take it.
Nope.
Not in a million years.
Nope.
What if you knew everything you
know
know now?
Yeah, that's interesting.
No, it's
I didn't.
Different kind of pressure that you
Yeah.
don't have to look at when you're older.
Yeah, I didn't know myself back then, and I probably didn't like myself because I didn't know myself. And now I do, man. Because you figure out like what's important to you, and you figure out who's important to you, and where you want to spend your time, and that is a very satisfying feeling.
Yeah, working towards more of yourself.
Yeah.
It's fulfilling.
Yeah. And then you have more to share with other people because you're like, okay, well, here are the good things that I am. Here are the not so great things that I am, because everyone has those.
Yeah.
But you understand that they're kind of are like, they're yin and yang, right? It's like one side of the coin is like, oh, maybe that's a little rough. But the other side of the coin, that same coin, makes you something really wonderful and terrific that you're proud of. I would challenge, and I would actually challenge every single person here, and maybe we can do this. That
Should I put the scoreboard
up?
No. We've got a challenge, folks.
By the end of the show, that you're able to say, like, what's one thing that you really like about yourself?
Oh my God, I love you.
But
I'm making a joke over this.
But how hard that is for us to do, right? Because all we see is the crapola stuff that we or you don't think about. You know what? I'm generous, or I'm funny, or I'm kind, or I like whatever it is. Like we don't think about those things.
I just went there today. Like everything that we see in anyone else is in us somewhere. So
Yes.
good, better, ugly, it's all there. And
Yeah.
we put up barriers to look at it when we make judgments. It's like there's no need.
Yeah. I agree.
We put up most of our barriers in life, I think.
We do. It's defense.
I do, yeah.
I don't want people to. It's vulnerability. I don't want people to see that. Oh,
That's interesting.
yeah.
But even like self-sabotage type of stuff. Like, when you're just, it's inherent
Real
in
good at that.
Oh, you too?
Yeah.
Should I put the scoreboard up?
No, because no one wants to think about those things. At some point, you just got to be like, all right, well.
But sometimes you wake up with that guy in your head,
Yeah.
and then you gotta get it out somehow.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
You just put one foot in front of the other. You know, I have the things that I like to do. Like I get up in the morning, I make my bed first thing because I like to feel some accomplishment, something that I've done, and that's a one thing. And you just listen. You know the days where you're like, oh man, like today was one of those. Like I feel like nothing really went right. I had one of those days at this last event that I was on. It was a really tricky schedule. It was
Secret event.
It wasn't a secret event. I just can't tell you how the cars drive, but I was at a
Currently secret.
BMW event. We were driving the XM, which is their new plug-in hybrid car, and then doing the new M2 as well.
I see just the information on
Just
what
the
you feel
driving
is
impressions.
But you can say that it
I
was
can
for
talk
BMW
about
and then
what
it
it
was
was,
this
and
model.
yeah, because everyone's seen those
I
cars.
was misinformed.
But embargoes don't lift until a little bit later on in the week. So, but it was one of those days where there was a lot of driving. It was one of those BMW programs where they're like, we're going to make you drive 7 hours. And you're like, all right. And on one level, you're like, yes, this is fantastic because it's the M, right?
We're going to let you drive.
They're performance cars. Like you want to drive these things. But when you're shooting video and you've got two cars now. So I had one car in the morning and then I had the other car in the afternoon. That meant
doubling your workload.
And then I have a drive partner with me who's not helping me with the video part of it. And so I have to then split that first part of my drive time with the drive partner. And then I have to, like I was talking to you earlier, get on a camera and say something like, I know what I'm talking about. That's sort of intelligent. So it was so that was 1 a.m. and then 1 p.m. And I'm not kidding. Every single thing that could have gone wrong with all of my camera equipment did. You know, when you're messing with the GoPro and it's like, would you like to reformat your card? Press format or press no thanks. Terrify me. Well, I accidentally overshot the no thanks, terrify me button, and I hit format. And I was just like, it starts going like this, and you're just like, stop. And you can almost hear the footage go. And you're just like, oh my gosh, okay, oh my gosh.
This story right here is why you are great in more than just print. That thing, genius.
You're just like, okay, my editor really hates me now. But it was just one of those days where it was like, okay, so that happened.
Pick yourself up. Yep.
Can't do anything about the bye-bye, that's gone.
Yeah.
And you literally just have to say, okay, this is what it is. I am doing every single thing that I can, and it's just not going my way. And
I still want to shoot myself in the brain when that happens.
Yeah.
The earlier days of this thing, when you forget the audio or something goes over, and then you've
Yeah.
had somebody you've been trying to get here, and then all of a sudden at the end, no show, no record of any of it.
Yeah. But you know what? This is the beautiful part about being my age, getting into your 50s, because who cares? I can't do anything about it.
No.
Who cares? And it's not that I don't care. I care deeply about my job, and I want to do a good job when I'm there. And I take it very, very personally. And then I'm reading the comments on YouTube, which is exceedingly painful, but they make me do that as part of my job. And so I do.
Oh no, because you need feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, that's another story I can
From
that
the
I can
pajama
share.
people.
Uh-huh.
From Bernadette's blog.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, it's great. But
We didn't allow that. Oh
my
That's
gosh,
crazy.
it's so.
I'm sorry to cut you off there, but
no.
it's that if that's where the world's come, I
tried
hate the
avoiding it
metric
for
world.
I tried avoiding it for 4 years until my boss was like, "I really think we need a moderator, and I think you'd be the perfect person for this."
No,
and I'm like,
you're-
"Have you met me? Like, have you met me? No, I would not be the
know
But
person."
maybe they're right, because maybe your honesty is, that you can shut it down.
But here's the thing: I've learned a lot. It's given me a little bit of a thicker skin, which I definitely needed because I'm a very sensitive person. But their opinion is just their opinion. And I'm not going to make everybody happy, right? I can't, not everyone's going to love all of the stuff that you do. But when you are, what I've learned, and I was so proud of myself 2 days ago when I did the BMW stuff, was I got back to the hotel and I was just downloading what footage I did still have. And I was like, well, I didn't cry. I didn't lose my, can I say shit?
Yeah.
I didn't lose my shit. I was just like, okay. And I guarantee you a couple years ago, I would have been like, oh, like freaking out.
I'm
Yeah.
still there, and I do still lose my shit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
even though I know there's nothing we can do about it, I still go. Boop, boop.
Because you're going to have another opportunity to do it again and to try and get it right.
You're saying that you have that awareness now, and that's how you stay calm.
Yeah. And
I mean, I know that's true too.
I know,
but,
but that's
gosh darn
like,
it.
but that's in that moment. That means that you literally have to like leave your own body and like look outside at your body and go, just chill. It's okay. Like you're gonna have there's another opportunity to succeed.
This is great advice, but I need you in my head like a lot more than just
But
1
sweetie,
hour.
but here's the thing: you already have that skill. You are in your own head. You are the best person for that, and it's possible. We just have to remember to do it. To be in that moment when we're all emotion and like, oh my god, however it is that we're reacting, it's just like literally taking a sec. Maybe it's a breath. Maybe it's a close your eyes. Maybe it's a whoever it is that you pray to or not, and just be like, all right, and then you're just. It's like a little reset moment, and it's practice. I'm telling you, it's practice.
Do you know what the added frustration generally is for me? Is that we call them the disaster shows in the
Okay.
TV business.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
disaster
yeah.
shows, theater disaster shows.
Yeah.
It always seems to be when you have done the most due diligence.
Yes.
When you are the
Yes.
most prepared. When you have done everything to make sure that
Yeah.
nothing else goes wrong. The universe is like, bink,
Nope.
bink.
Right? That's the test. That's the test. Really? Did you really do everything?
Oh,
Did you really prepare? Because you may have prepared here, but have you prepared here?
By the way, every time I get there, when
Yeah.
the murky waters come, that's where I am.
Yeah.
But in the moment, getting
No,
from
in the weeds is rough. And it's so easy to say, right? It's like,
Right.
oh, you should do this, and you just do that. It's so easy. No, it's not. It
Life by
sucks.
Lyn.
It sucks. Trust me, Lynn's
You would be a good moderator, though. This kind of proves it.
Lynn's learned all these lessons in real time, people.
Lyn's
And
life
she's still-
lessons. Is anyone else?
I feel
fucking
like I've
trademarking?
got a TED Talk in me somewhere. But we all have these opportunities. We all have these moments. We're given them. My mom gave me this awesome little. It's just like this little quote from someone. I don't even know who it was, and it basically says that the way that this sort of philosopher or writer separates the world is not between like the people who are like good and like the good people and the bad people or whatever, but it's the sort of the people who make mistakes and keep making the mistakes, and then the people who make mistakes and then they learn from their
from them.
mistakes. And I was like, oh, that's good information.
Because we all make mistakes,
Yeah.
right?
And we're never like nobody is never going to do that. This honestly is one of the things that is like one of the hardest things for me to see now in the way like I feel like our world is kind of getting into this space where it's like it's not okay to fail.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's not okay to make a mistake. You can't
cancel,
and no one wants to apologize for anything, and you
Yeah,
can't
that's
just
weird.
say, you know what, I'm sorry, I screwed that up, because everyone is just instantly defensive, and I'm like, whoa, it's cool. Like I expect everybody to screw up. I wish we could get back to that place where it was okay to be not perfect.
since we've turned this into the View today, right?
It's just a therapy. It's just like therapy session. I love it.
We've got Mike up in Canada moderating, but this is clearly the View. And I mean that with producer Kate over there, and then you got Lindsay. So I'm going to show my bare belly for a second here and say that I don't know. Does anyone here have Apple TV? Does everyone here have Apple TV?
Yes.
There is a little. It's a cartoon. It's like a half-hour cartoon movie short film called, and it's based on a book. And some static in Canada. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. You know the story.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips of it, and it just rips your guts out.
Okay. Whew.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Then I need to watch the whole thing.
You nailed it. I watched it alone to see if I wanted to see if like it would be. I tend to preview things to see if they're worthy of her.
I think that's appropriate.
Her time is very valuable.
Yeah.
I sobbed through the entire thing
Yeah.
because I related to it so stinking much.
Yeah.
I mean, uncontrollably sobbed. I kept it on instead of pausing it, but I freaking like the whole time, right?
Yeah.
And then I watched it with her, and the moment I put it on, it started happening again. Before even the moments, because I knew
like
they
a
were coming.
reflex. You're
Yes,
like,
I
whoa.
almost sat kind of behind her a little bit, so she wouldn't see as much. And I know you did, but it's crazy because she wasn't remotely as affected by this thing.
Really?
I mean, she just sat there and kind of watched it, and at the end, she was like, well, okay, what's next?
That was nice.
I could hear you.
I was like sniffling.
I knew I was so close that I didn't want to make noise.
All right, that's really
was so
funny.
good.
That is really funny.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Totally covered it,
It's
Jen.
all right. You
it's
got
basically
a little.
the whole thing. I recommend this to anyone because it's
Yeah.
really it's almost like a 30-minute building blocks to how you should live your life and just how you need
How to
it's
be a
like the
good
few
person, yeah.
your lesson your one was in there a second ago and like 5 other foundational infrastructure type things.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend it to anybody. It's 30 minutes. You will not.
And didn't it just win the Academy Award?
I hope so. It's really good. By the way,
I don't know.
it's executive produced by Johnny Ive from Apple. Remember, he used to be at Apple, the design chief of Apple.
Okay. I don't
Sexy
know
guy
him.
used to shave his head. All the girls used to like Johnny Ive. I thought you might know him. Anyway,
been
and,
busy.
and Woody Harrelson, you know him too, right? He shaves his head
I know
also.
that guy.
There's a theme there. Didn't intend that. Anyway, really, really good. Highly
Okay.
recommend. But my point is,
Yeah.
sob my damn guts out,
Yeah.
and then I felt better after the,
Yeah.
whatever, the purge.
Well, sometimes I think when we connect with the truth, like when you hear that, like you hear those, because I've just literally seen one little almost.
The connection there is all about compassion, and you were
Right.
saying it's sort of.
And I think the line that I heard, it's the mole asking the little boy, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And his answer is kind. And when we connect, I think when we connect with little just bits of truth, which they're all over the place, and when we hear them, we have that. Our soul kind of has that like rush of. That's my
Oh, please get
sister-in-law.
it.
No,
Please
it's my
get it.
sister-in-law. I'm
Oh.
so sorry. We have that kind of
She
rush
could
of
pick a moment.
rush of connection or of recognition of like, oh yeah, that means something to me. That's deep. That resonates. And if we're too busy, if we're too like crazed with what we're doing in the world, sometimes we miss those things.
This comes back to how the whole thing started, which the world is
Yeah.
going too damn fast and trying to do
Yeah.
many things.
Yeah.
Mr. Rogers had it right.
Oh, Mr. Rogers.
He was so wise.
What a good dude.
Ladies, what do we think of Mr. Rogers?
Mr. Rogers. Okay, I have one other little anecdote about Mr. Rogers, and this is like, to me, this is again everything that's wrong with things like especially with politics. There is a great video on YouTube right now that when Mr. Rogers is testifying in front of the committee
Oh, do I still have it in
to
here?
get funding for public television, especially for his show, and you can see that the senator or the
All right, Rogers.
congressman who he's there to sort of to give his it's not testimony, but it's like what his statement to, you can just see that he's like, I'm opposed to this. I think this is hogwash or hoo-ha or whatever it is that he calls it. He's like, this is meaningless. This is not worthy of our funding. And you could tell that he had this like wall up. And Mr. Rogers started talking, and he explained himself, and he explained why he thought it was important and what his program does for children and how it benefits children. You could literally see the man on the other side of the dais. You could see him melt.
Soften, yeah.
And it was beautiful because he literally, he used his words and he used his brain and his intellect to explain. But the other guy, he was actually open to hearing what it was that Mr. Rogers had to say. And by the end of it, he said, you know what? We're going to get you your funding.
It was a great moment.
Because I guess
doesn't
you just
happen
got the
anymore.
$20 million.
That doesn't happen anymore. We don't listen to each other anymore.
I was because he was willing to change.
He was willing to change. He heard what he had to say, and he was like, "Oh, okay, that actually does sound like a good idea."
I was looking for that clip because we've played it on this show so many times. I thought it would still be in here. It melts me as well.
It's a beautiful moment.
It's incredibly inspiring to me, though. Watching him melt is great, but watching Fred go from the guy who was about to testify to a guy who clearly is literally just being channeled by God or whatever you believe. And he was just speaking his emotions to connect with that senator alone.
Yes.
Really crazy, awesome moment of like broadcasting. He wasn't even on the air, but he was just connecting.
Yeah. But that's the thing. When we're open to hearing the truth, to hearing that bit of whatever, oh, okay. Yeah, it seems pretty easy. Great. Let's do that.
I'm going to bring in our producer, Mike, just for a second there.
Easier
Just
said
because
than
he's... oh, gosh, I didn't
No,
mean to
I
step
just
on
said
you.
easier said than done. Go ahead.
Well, he hosts a mental wellness podcast for men, a men's mental health wellness podcast. Did I say all that right? Take it away, Mike.
Well, yeah, with HeCast, we've shot 100 and some odd episodes, and we've had all sorts of folks from life coaches and counselors and all sorts of people, and then men with a story who've learned something. And the two topics that come up more than anything are awareness and vulnerability. And it's being aware of these things. And I love that video that Lyn just mentioned. I love watching that. The discourse where we actually do have our ears open and we can become aware of something. And I think it was Fred's vulnerability. Like, you're right, Jay. It totally was. He was channeling from the universe, whatever you want to call it. There's no question. But it was his vulnerability. It was him literally putting his vulnerability out there for everyone to see. And that vulnerability was met with an awareness that just was shared between the two. And it was a beautiful moment. I love those moments when humans can do that. And I think that's, our leaders certainly need it, but it needs to come from all of us as a populace. That's how we need to treat each other. Kindness, the whole 9 yards. Lyn, I just absolutely love where you're coming from this episode. It's just warming my heart.
Well, thank you so much. I honestly, I really do appreciate that kind of a show, because I feel like it's okay to talk about our flaws. And to be like, well, yeah, I'm not perfect.
Because nobody fucking
No one's perfect.
There's always someone to relate to everything.
Yeah.
And someone's better at you. That's something. And whatever you're the best at, there's another guy that's better.
Of course. That's when I think, too, when you start comparing yourself to other people, like, whoa, how dangerous that gets.
But that's where we live currently when you mention the success and the drive for it, because everything in this world seems to be a metric now.
Yeah.
Everything's a box to check.
Yeah.
Wow, do creatives not live in that lifestyle?
That's not the definition of success that I have. I mean, I know that everyone is different, but the second I started to kind of realize, like, well, what motivates me? I'm not really that motivated by money. I'm motivated by, like, am I doing something that feels good, like that feels like I'm being of service to someone else, And I write about cars and I review cars, but to me, my outlet is not just necessarily like, let's drive fast cars and look really super cool. I help people with a really expensive and very confusing decision, especially now when we're moving into this like brand new technology that a lot of people frankly don't know anything about. I love that I get to do that every day. That makes me feel good. And I love it when people come up to me and they're like, dude, I watched your video about the Sentra and I loved it and I bought it and I'm so happy. Oh, awesome.
That must be pretty
It's
fulfilling as
really
well.
satisfying. And I worked, I mean, listen, you were PR, you know, I worked in advertising for a long time. That didn't feel very good.
No.
Buy what you don't need. This
Here's a
feels good.
flashy version of what?
Yeah, this feels a little better. So, yeah. And hopefully people are entertained at the same time. Maybe, maybe not. I'm goofy. So, let's try. We try.
I think if you've been there 5 years, they're entertained.
They're entertained. Are
They're
you not
liking something.
entertained?
Right.
They're liking
Yes.
something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
I
I'm
can't believe
grateful.
it's been 5 years because I do remember you saying that like this is like 3 years ago or
Right?
whatever. This is before COVID, and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean like,
maybe I'll see how it goes.
I mean you never know what the future will bring.
They're gonna
it's
have
like
to
it locked
drag
us down, and you
No.
got deep dive into your job.
They are going to have to drag me out feet first.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I love it.
Do you like to travel? Like before this job, did you like to travel and
Loved traveling, but really hard to find someone to travel with, and so I never did. Occasionally I would go on stuff. Like I remember when I was 29, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to wait until I'm married or till I have a man. I'm going to go travel by myself. And I did. And this was before the internet. So I got like Foder's, like West Indies or whatever it was, the book. And
Oh,
you're like,
Foder's the
the
travel
guides,
guide.
the travel
yeah.
guides, and I'm reading, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go to the West Indies. Why not? That sounds fucking exotic and shit. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what 30-year-olds do on cool TV shows.
Took a dart, threw it at the globe.
Seriously, but there was no internet. It was all just like fax us your itinerary, and then you're like, well, okay, like
So sketchy.
hopefully this works. Fax me your credit card.
Oh
Yay!
no.
But I did. I went all by myself. I took 2 weeks, and I had this whole. I was like, well, I can't afford to take like the fancy cruise ship, so I'm going to take the mail boat, like all the normal people did. And you go from so I went to St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
MAIL.
Mail, the mail, MAIL boat. Like that's
Just
the boat that like
checking.
where all the locals. That's how the locals all
Yeah.
like get from island to island.
Just checking.
Could have been a very different story.
I'm just
It really
yes. If
could've.
she's young and traveling and like
I
you know,
was. I was.
little green. Oh, I've never
What did
really
I
been here. Oh,
know?
these guys are so nice. Oh, jeez.
What did I know?
say.
But I had never.
Ah, Lindsay wants to take the mail though.
I had never traveled by myself before, and I was terrified, but it was exciting. And then there were I got a really pretty room on this island. It's an island called Beckway, and it was beautiful. That's where they shot Pirates of the Caribbean. Was all in that. There was like a huge bay on that island, and I was like in this gorgeous suite, and it's looking out onto this beautiful sunset with an outdoor shower, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is really bullshit that I'm like here all by myself.
I say you deserve it.
But it was gorgeous, and I really did, like, I was really in the moment. And people, when I was at dinner by myself, like, people would come, like, couples would be like, hey, come join us for dinner, or, oh, are you traveling by? And they were so nice, and everybody was super friendly. And I did go on a boat with other people, not just male guy, but he was like, oh, now we're gonna go fishing, and he like caught a tuna, and he's like, here's some of the freshest sashimi you will ever eat, and he literally carved it up, and I was like, this is insane. So I went to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and it was just like, it was extraordinary. But I
20
haven't.
plus years ago.
That was 30 plus years ago. Is that ridiculous? No, 20 years ago. You're right. I can't do math. Good thing I'm a writer. But
And on-air personality.
that's right.
Please.
I can make fun of myself as well. It's all good. But since then, like I haven't done a lot of traveling. And so the thing that I love about this job is it does afford me the opportunity to go to some incredible places and see some beautiful things in a way that I frankly couldn't afford to go on my own. And so I'm insanely grateful for those opportunities. And I mean, next week I'm going to Portugal. Not next week, the week after.
Super cool.
Yeah, but I take none of it for granted. I certainly, and I appreciate all of it, and I feel very fortunate. So yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what's happening here at the same time.
Are we having some
We do
technical-
still seem to be live. I'm
Just
listening
blow
to the
some
stories.
bubbles, and everybody will be
I don't
distracted.
I don't want to foam you again. And that also is not a euphemism.
I mean, we've had so many of those. You can just do an outtake show based on this one alone.
I wonder if my Bluetooth thing quit here. It is what it is.
Let's see what else we can break.
What do you want to bring?
I don't know.
Oh, no, it works again now. Now, was that a letdown or what?
I'm okay with that.
The button says WTF, and it said awesomebuttons.com. Speaking of a freaking
Is that
ad.
all it says?
No, it's a WTF button. Hit it again.
Oh, it just is like mystery sound.
No, it's normally that. But apparently every 10th one or something is an advertisement for the button
Everyone's
company.
got to have a plug, right?
Not if you bought the button. Not if you bought the button. The gumdrop buttons.
Gumdrops sound really
gingerbread
good
man.
right now.
Oh, gosh. If
Doesn't
it were
a
Christmas
gumdrop
time, I could have
sounds
had
good?
gumdrops for you.
It's all right, next time.
Don't wait.
No, we won't wait until Christmas.
Oh, okay.
But
Good Lord.
there's M&Ms in the green room for anyone who is excited to come on this show.
Can you believe that I actually freshened those? I just freshened them the other day because otherwise they would get stale.
No, I think that's great.
Yeah, I know, but I bet most shows don't.
I bet they don't. And I bet most people who eat stale M&Ms really don't care.
We do. And
You
the-
do? I don't know how you
Do
have
not.
the discipline to like have extras in there.
I can't move, so I knew we did that. It's great.
Oh man,
That is true.
That
That
is
probably
very-
helps a lot with your
it
discipline.
really does.
It totally does. And I would eat all day.
From boredom. Pain.
Both.
Everything.
Just 'cause
Everything.
you want food,
Distraction.
yeah.
Feelings.
I
You're just
probably
eating the
should eat
feelings.
more anyway, but I think this is a disease of fat people. And I'm not.
This is a disease of fat people, but I'm not. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I'm going to put that on the website.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, I understand. Because often at times it's paired with like diabetes and other things.
A
which are
lot of
often-
my research leads that direction.
Yeah.
Really, that's really interesting.
No one says anything.
Right.
Like the origins of
Well, you
this
can't.
disease.
Are you allowed? You're not allowed. Are you allowed to say that? I mean,
Yes, but
Yeah.
no one does out of fear of what has happened previously.
yeah.
So we start over every time.
I think of some of the famous people I knew who have it, like Jamie Lynn Sigler's been here, but Selma Blair.
Selma
obviously.
Blair, Christina Applegate now.
Yes, and I was going to say with Christina, and that's what made my head shift. I was thinking they were all kind of slender, like you, or more of your build.
Yeah.
But and then I thought of Christina Applegate, who ballooned up from the meds, and that was a thing that didn't necessarily affect you, but I would imagine does affect other people because steroids generally do.
Steroids affect me, but my body works differently, so I don't get big all over. But when I was younger, whenever I gained or lost weight, it was in my face and my boobs. So
I can attest to that.
Hormones.
Yeah.
They were both. I didn't know that the term moon face could be taken derogatorily.
Yes.
I didn't know that was a negative.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
said
yeah.
one time, I was like, no, you have that big, beautiful moon face. I was trying, even hearing it now, sounds
in
awful.
mouth.
But I didn't know at the time, so I thought I was just, whatever.
Yeah.
I also told her she had clarinet teeth.
I
But yeah,
did.
that's a
And
huge
moon
compliment.
face
No, I didn't say it like that. I asked her if she played any musical instruments. She said, I used to play the clarinet. I said, oh, I bet you were really good. She goes, why is that? I go, well, you got your two front teeth are a little bit longer in the front. I go, that probably helps with the embouchure.
Oh wow.
I
You
just
really.
had
I
the-
hope you were already married.
No.
No.
I just had
Oh,
my teeth
jeez.
filed. I was like, I
Oh,
awful.
jeez.
I would like everyone to know that this moment is the first time I've ever heard that part of the story.
I'm awful now, but I tried so hard initially to be attractive and positive.
You are the opposite of awful now.
Yeah, also, she didn't try so hard to be positive at the beginning.
I thought of you. Positive in that I was on my path that I set out to fulfill.
Oh, you mean your
Looking-
trajectory in life? Like,
Yeah,
you,
I wanted
you
to
were
look
on a
at
hard
hot
path.
and be successful at business and
And you knew how to push everything out of the way and just get there.
yeah, and
Yes.
I forgot everything personally.
I just, with that trajectory, I feel like you didn't put yourself first ever. The clients and the job and everything else were always first. That's what I think. When you were doing something for you, it was like spin class, cardio bar. It was some kind of aggro body abuse that you thought was like therapeutic. It wasn't like, I'm going to go take a restorative yoga class.
Yeah.
Or,
How about a
or
day at
something
the
like that.
spa?
I'm going to go lay on the floor all day today and
Yeah.
think about nothing. You know,
I was not good at massages. I couldn't
Oh yeah.
go
get
to Burke
relaxed.
Williams for the day. She would
No.
beep, 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 beep on the
Yeah.
BlackBerry.
I used to get massages down the street from where we lived, and I was on my BlackBerry before I left the building. So I
All
knew
that relaxation is just gone.
I
Because
knew
she
all
probably
of
missed
it.
90 minutes of work or
I
whatever,
did.
catching
and
up.
I did. And there were
Oh.
always messages like, I need to talk to you right now.
It's urgent.
I mean, that's the business you were in. Was like
Yeah.
everything is an A++ priority. Everything.
And she was at the level with the top tier talent too. Like that's what
Yeah.
other people don't necessarily
That is
understand. Like the
A++,
higher you get, the
like-
tighter it fucking gets
Yeah.
with how people operate.
But you want to know something, and I'm one of those people who really believes that everything that we do in our life kind of leads up to whatever is next. And I don't wonder if that kind of mental focus, that kind of determination, and that one-pointedness doesn't serve you quite well now with what you're challenged with. And so, in a sense, that kind of dogged determination has really benefits you now and really helps you.
I'm holding on to that tenacity that
Yeah.
I had to have then. It works now.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I have to have it now or I'll not do anything.
Yeah.
She was kind of an immovable force
Yeah.
in business and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would imagine
Well, you're a
being able to stay planted and say, no, fuck you, I'm going to do this.
Yeah. Well, you're formidable, and that obviously that has been since the very beginning in your life, So
You're formidable.
you're formidable.
Yes. I've been
Excuse me,
wanted
Jay?
all along.
Oh, we have
Hi, buddy.
Johnny Lieberman just asked, why is Jesch hiding in the corner?
Come on in. Yeah, come on in. There's
That's a
actually,
really
if you
good
want
question.
to, if you want to jump in here, that mic works. It's up to you.
What's this?
And then that's from her for
Oh, here.
somebody.
You
Are you
present.
gonna open my own present?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, why not?
Oh, and now she's hiding off screen. So you start opening that. And then
What
I'll
else
widen
does
the
What
shot.
else does Lieberman have to say? Tell him we all said hi. Where is he? How come he's not here?
Well,
What the what,
him
bro?
and producer Ariel are now getting into an argument about putting Jesch in the corner. Nobody puts Jesch in the corner. Johnny Lieberman says he puts Jesch in the corner all the time, and it kind of goes on from there.
All right.
Kind of goes on from there.
All right. There we go. Now, are you happy now, Lieberman? Are you not entertained? Are you happy? That's right.
Wait, Lieberman's on a trip right now, isn't he?
Oh, trucks maybe? Is he driving trucks?
Trucks.
You're so sweet.
Is that a candle?
Yeah.
It is.
I love the candles.
No.
Open. Oh, here. You want me to open it?
I just
best
read
part
what
is-
it was.
The label.
Candles are one of those things that are like an affordable luxury as far as I'm concerned. And they,
Just the whole mood
yeah,
of
they just make everything fantastic.
Agreed.
Yeah. That and flowers, but they're not super affordable. They're just a luxury.
I feel like candles are mentally easier because
Yeah.
they last a little longer. than
Totally.
flowers.
And you don't have to maintain them.
Yes.
But you got to read the label on the
Oh, it's on the top of the
Oh.
can on the
It's on the jar.
Got
This
it.
is like Splash. I love it. It's beautiful. No, you open it.
No, what is it?
Nice.
What does it say?
My last fuck. Oh, look, it's on fire. Awesome.
That's awesome.
This is my last fuck. Oh, great. It's on fire. Oh, look, it's on fire.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
I
That's
once got a
awesome.
jar. I once got my friend Emmy Hall. You know Emmy Hall.
Love
She's
Emmy
a friend
Hall.
of a friend of yours.
Emmy Hall just went to compete and ended up winning the 400 out in Vegas.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, that Emmy Hall. Go
You
ahead.
need to have her on the show just to tell you that story. Like it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah,
but
we
in a
asked
great
her
way.
if she was coming before she left or when she came back. She said she'll be here when she came back.
Yeah,
So
but she's in
hopefully-
Dubai. She's in Dubai driving Defenders
Just
now.
like last year. She goes, drives a thing
What a
and then gets
jerk.
in the pool in Dubai.
We love her. That's right. Well, that's what I was with her on that
I
trip
know,
when we were
you're-
going to Saudi, but now she's just on her own being very swank. But I gave her this jar one year for Christmas. It was a jar full of just these little cardboard words that said fuck. And you could give fucks to people if you wanted to. And she like opened it. She's like, here.
Hilarious.
She's like, I'm going to give you a fuck. Like, not in that way.
Oh, God,
No,
you really
come
are.
on, like, oh, but
who
this-
wants a
This
Free.
show. Who gives a fuck? But there you go. This show's disgusting.
I'm sorry.
You really choose who you give that last
You
one.
really do. You got to choose. Although it's
What I was going to try and tell you before was that this is banana smoothie that you're having here to go with your last fuck.
Oh, how
You'd
is
like
that?
some banana smoothie to go with your last fuck.
I would
It's
think.
quite a combo.
I like that you
Yes, it
were
is.
you asked very politely, "Can I say shit?" And she's
Can
like,
I?
"I'm going to give you a gift for you to open up on the air." And she-
That's just the big F word. That's right.
What's up, ladies? Welcome. I mean, happy to have you here and stuff. It's wild.
Happy to be here.
Weird and wild.
This is the first time we've met in person. Like we're Instagram buds, but this is the first time we've actually met in person. So it's pretty cool.
How's it going so far?
It's fantastic.
Magical.
It's magical. I love it.
In an unsarcastic way.
Yeah. I love other women in automotive, and it's super cool, and we need more of them. So, come on, ladies.
Are there a lot now?
More. There are definitely more.
More than when you
More
started.
than when I started, for sure. Yeah, it's great.
Still rare though.
Bring it on.
Too rare.
Bring it on.
Are you writing for Haggerty?
I am.
Oh, that's cool. In
Yeah.
what capacity? Like
I'm
for
working with the creative team and the events team. So the Amelia just happened.
Yeah.
So I did all kinds of writing for them. One of the really cool things was I got to review all the placards for the cars that were in the concours on Sunday, and double check not only the writing but also like the car nomenclature, and that was really fun.
Awesome.
nice.
That's
Yeah,
a
you're
really
getting your feet wet. in
That's
this
a
whole
really
thing.
Exactly.
tough job too, because these cars are, some of them are pretty obscure, and if you go onto the internet and you look in two different places, that's how many different versions of the truth you're gonna get.
Right.
So fact checking classic car stuff is real challenging.
Right. It was really interesting. I learned a lot. For
Yeah.
instance, there is a make of car called the Denzel, which I've never heard of.
Yeah, right, Denzel.
And
Is
there
it
were
sexy?
several of them. So sexy. Yeah.
I
But-
find the other Denzel to be very talented
So,
and very sexy
so
because of
sexy.
his talent for me. I mean, I think he's a good-looking guy anyway, but I find him to be such a good actor that I'm like, God dang,
You
you're
can't-
just so stinking
You
good.
can't take your eyes off him.
He often stands for something good too in the movies and
Yeah.
the characters,
Yes.
and then he's so good at it that I'm just
So
like,
great.
fuck,
He
man, I just
chooses
want to be
those
on your
roles
team.
That have,
Yeah.
Like the meat
Even
to 'em.
when he's the flawed guy, I just rewatched Inside Man.
Ooh, I've been wanting to watch that.
Ding, dang. That movie is great.
From the 90s or early 2000s? maybe?
Early 2000s.
Okay.
I don't remember
Have you
that.
never?
at all.
He's
Rewatch
like a
it.
CIA agent or something.
No.
right?
He's a cop. He's a New York like negotiator.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
a bank robbery situation.
Mm-hmm.
Inside
So
Man.
well made.
Clive Owen and
Clive Owen.
Denzel.
All right.
Denzel
See, what you watching?
at his finest. And Jodie Foster's in it.
What?
And Chris Plummer is in it.
These are mega
Stars.
people.
Mega cast. It's so good. And it's clever. It's so clever. It's real. I was one of
What
those
else?
things where as a writer, I'm like, oh, I envy that. I have envy about that story.
How they did it.
Just how it's just smart. It's a smart screenplay.
It's funny when they jump out at you because there only seems to be one in each generation, and then everybody emulates that one.
Yeah, and then it kind of becomes like its own genre. But this one has a great twist.
Do you know what I mean? Like Kaiser Soze, whatever that one was, Usual Suspects. Then all of a sudden, people did that.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. That was another
Inspired
great one that was
by-
like, what?
Kinda.
That
Yeah.
I can't make really good mouth sound effects, but
The whoop was pretty good.
Yeah. Earlier when you sent the mail was great. You could hear it going.
See it.
I guess the breezy ones I got. It's the real like guttural explosions, like that I don't have down yet. I'm working on it. Work in progress, people.
You'll get there.
I
have
think
confidence
I
in
feel
you.
like I'll get there. I can't whistle, so I have to do other things.
You're hilarious.
You're amazing.
I can't whistle.
Can I-
That's it.
Are you trying too hard?
No,
That's
I
what I
lost-
sound like.
Did you have braces?
no.
What would that have to do with
Because
it?
I lost my whistle once I got braces.
Yes, while you have them on because
No,
you
no,
can't make
but
it.
it never
It
came back.
changes your mouth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna spend the rest of the show going like this.
All right.
I bet Mike's a good whistler.
here.
He just feels like to me he'd be a good
He's like,
whistler.
what the hell?
I bet you're one of those loud whistlers like
I
in a
can
parking
basic
lot or
whistle.
at a sporting event.
Yeah, no, that's my wife. My wife can do this one.
Oh,
Like
I'm
that.
so
That's,
jealous
oh,
of your
I
wife.
thought you were that guy. Okay.
That's a super
No,
badass
I
move
can
right
do that.
there.
No problem, but that's
Oh,
That's a good one too, though.
Yeah.
Well, in
The whistling
70s,
like
right?
this,
But with the wolf, what they call that? The
or
wolf?
like this is like the facial equivalent of raising one eyebrow. I wish I could do that. Like,
that I
huh?
can do.
Do
I can
that.
do both.
Yeah,
Do
the,
it.
The eyebrows.
Oh yeah, I want to give people that look like 20 times a day. Like, huh?
But maybe you do.
I don't think so. In my
You try it in the mirror?
Maybe it was a gift that I can't do it because everybody would be like, "Why are you looking at me
What
like
the
that,
fuck,
yo?
Lyn?
Like, what the fuck? What's the eyebrow for?"
Did you see that meme the other day where the gal said she's on a Zoom call and she's muted, and the moderator's like, "Thanks for being on mute, but we can tell exactly what you're thinking."
Because
You
your
gotta turn your
face.
video off.
Oh, that's
Turn your
funny.
face off.
Me.
That's hilarious.
It is pretty
Yeah,
funny.
you used to have a resting bitchy face too, but I feel like that was part of the professional wall as well. You're not getting in here. Don't even try.
Well, I think as a PR person,
It
like,
worked for both. It's great.
yeah,
You know what I mean? She was able
unflappable.
to unflap two screens going, talking to other people, juggling that shit, and
Yeah.
then you're not getting in.
Yeah.
I didn't have the luxury of having friends that knew things.
It was really, really funny. I'm sorry to make this about us, but usually when you're here, you interview us. In the beginning of like whatever this was, when we started to be like more public, like you were always public because you were a writer and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
always
yeah.
were putting yourself out
I
there.
mean, yes.
We were kind of like professionally hidden and secure behind all these walls we
Yeah.
put up for years and years.
Comfortable.
So as those are coming down for the whole thing, as you realize you have to. It was very interesting to watch the progression of, and keep in mind when we first started, she was also very more able-bodied. Mm-hmm. How she would like put up the not getting it, nope. Meanwhile, because she's used to working with like
Yeah.
you, Steve Carell, Will Ferrell, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
like mega
huge people.
stars, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, no, you don't even stay right there.
Yeah.
And then for other people, like we're nobody, so they're trying to come over and be like, hey, I like your show.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's like, get back! No pictures!
No.
Pictures!
You're like, I
Grace,
just wanted to come
Grace
say hi.
was not a term affiliated with the mighty.
That's awesome.
Ever.
I fucking love it.
Acquired
I love
skill.
I might have missed the boat.
Someday when your
Nope.
fucking memoir does come out, people will finally get the stories and understand what the hell we're always talking about. Because
All
you'll
right.
have all of, like, they'll have all the context for everything.
I think
Oh,
that's
Lyn has a
that's a great new topic. No, because
The, tan.
because Nicole, me and the beige sweater. Thank you. Nicole and I were having this conversation before we went on the air, and it brings up an interesting, sort of an interesting conundrum, and I want to know also what people out in the audience are thinking about it too. So Nicole and I have been texting back and forth. We've been both trying to sort of work on new projects, writing projects.
Writing, yeah.
And I thought, okay, well, this is great. Like, we'll have each other. We'll have deadlines. We'll set deadlines for each other, and we'll talk. We'll just keep checking in because that
Sometimes
will
the buddy
be
helps motivate,
that'll be
right?
motivating,
Yeah.
right? So
accountable.
I wrote 1,000 words, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try my hand at writing a novel. This sounds like a really good idea. Why not? Because I have
Did you
all
have
this.
an idea for a novel? Or
I
you're
did.
Like, oh, okay. Well, then.
I had an idea for a novel, but I was like, I'm just gonna
Sometimes
go.
when people just start with, like, my novel by Lyn Woodward.
That's kind
When
of how
I was
felt.
young.
And it started, and I was like, oh, I got 1,000 words done today. That's great. And I texted Nicole. I'm like, here's what my goals are. Like, I want to do like 5,000 words a week and like have this done in like, however many weeks that was. And literally, like, now my follow-ups with her are, yeah, I still haven't done anything else. Yeah, how about you? She's like, nope. She's like, I haven't done anything either. So
That's so common, right? I've seen her do this a million times in our 13 years together.
but does it work for other people? Because it doesn't seem to work for me, I guess.
It does work. It's thinking and mental processing.
Okay.
And I did a little bit. I had to move something around to do my stories in the right way.
Okay.
So maybe that's in your head too.
Maybe. I mean, or maybe I'm just like, oh man, I just would rather sit here and watch an episode of Seinfeld.
Maybe,
'Cause
but
it's easier.
your brain's taking in everything.
Well, and you're always
All the
working.
character-
Yeah.
yes. And all the character development and objectives. Like, as a writer, that's ingrained in you.
Yeah.
So that's always processing.
Oh,
You'll
that's
have
great.
it.
So when I'm eating a grilled cheese sandwich, I can be like, I'm totally writing right now.
My character loves
Just writing.
grilled cheese.
I'm writing in my brain.
Hilarious.
That's the PR master right there.
That
It's
is.
like,
It's
you're actually writing
perfect.
all the time.
I love it. No, but she's right. I mean, when I'm in, no, but it's true because
She's half right. The other half is you have to have the fucking.
well, you do have to sit down and
discipline,
actually do the
because
work.
The process is the inspiration. The
Yeah.
reason you guys are all hyped up after that first time was because you were productive. You were creative. You were through the creative tether, and then you were inspired, and then you get
Yeah.
the energy going, and you were motivated, and all that stuff. And you're like, oh, this will be easy. It's not easy to get into that place. You have to work into that place.
Yeah.
It's got to be the same as when you're writing a piece.
It's hard, especially when you sit down to a blank page and you're like, okay, well, what happens next? I don't know.
Wait, it's up to me.
I get to figure that out. But I do think there's something to be said though, because when I'm like kind of stuck and I don't really know, like, oh, what happens now, or what is this? I've hit this point and I need to either go this way or this way or this way. What's going to be the best way to go? And sometimes even if I just go for a walk or get out a little bit and then let things kind of marinate, then sometimes in the morning, like when I get up and I meditate or I'm in a shower or whatever, I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it comes to you.
The shower is the
I know
place.
what happens.
Taking a break is one of the most overlooked necessities
Yeah.
that anyone in a creative space needs.
Yeah, totally.
It's huge.
It's like
So
the secret that nobody
To-
shares.
totally.
It's like, no,
Yeah.
just step away for 5 minutes. Because
Yeah.
you take it's
Even your
you
eyes
let
can be
your
fresh
brain-
eyes.
Well, and you let yourself relax, I think, because I think it's easy.
Yeah.
When you're looking at a blank page, you're like,
Right. You
I
take
have
the
to create
pressure
the whole
off.
thing.
Yeah.
And if you take yourself out of it for a minute, even if you get a glass of water, it's like
Just
you,
change of perspective. Like
Yeah.
that's really all you need.
Yeah.
If you can turn your mind off, it's huge.
Yeah.
it's like it lets you get out of your own way, I think.
Look at all the knowledge bombs we're dropping
So
tonight.
impressed.
Get
You,
your
you
pencils
really
ready.
set the tone. You really did.
That
Whether
makes
you
me
realized
thinking.
it or not, the moment you sat down, it was like really inspirational and thoughtful.
Oh, well, that's good. Maybe it's the vibes I'm getting here tonight.
Every time I turn the AC, Lindsay, I'm sure you noticed it when you came in, but every time I turn the AC on, it pumps the air from the one room you're in with it all into everything else. And
Oh, so we're all just contact high right now,
I
is
think
what you're
that
saying.
it's maybe
okay,
that because
great.
I kick the AC on right before the show every time so that it's nice and Letterman chill in here.
That's the secret to the success
I
of the show.
get it.
Everybody-
The show is
me,
everyone's just
Hilarious.
so nice, and it's amazing.
Hilarious.
Everyone should get a sick wife that can walk and spunk spot all day.
If only. If only.
I'll
Everyone
do the PSAs for everyone should get a sick wife. Thank you very much.
It's like I might have a couple alternate points on there.
You bring way more interesting things to the table than that.
Let's hope.
You do. 100%.
Yeah,
It's not even a let's hope.
Oh, thank you for translating. I heard something soap.
Back to
Oh, got it. Yeah, more bubbles, everybody, quick. No.
You don't need to cover for me. Everyone knows I don't have my shit together. All good. The last show was basically me talking about how I didn't have my shit together. She wasn't here. Our guest
I
was
love that.
snowed out or whatever. Yeah, sometimes it's lately half these shows have been turning into like
All
therapy
right.
for me and us.
So I will be the moderator once again, even though I'm over in the seat. We were going to talk about Angela's Crest. Now that you
thanks
brought
for
up the
that.
snow. Sorry, I know. I realize it's a kind of a bad, it's a tough subject, but
Well, yeah, it's funny you say that because it shouldn't be, right? It's just a road. But like
It's not.
there is a crazy emotional connection
Yeah.
to seeing sections of the earth gone. And the thing is, I hate to sound like such a broken record on this, but like people who aren't part of the mountain family, who haven't been doing this for years and haven't met, it's been closed this year, it's closed this year, it's closed this year for different reasons. Like we've been through so many of those that it's kind of like, all right, there's ebbs and flows.
yeah.
I've never seen the road washed away and gone like
Yeah.
that, where the earth underneath it is gone,
Just-
and like, they're going to need to like re-engineer something to do that. They're doing it further up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't expect to see it where
Yeah.
we were, and it did feel like, a car crash. It was like a car crash photo.
Yeah.
Like I can't not look. I don't want to look. I don't like seeing this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
It's like
It's
a
a lot.
member of our family.
It is.
Right.
It's a
Or a
lot
pet,
that's
at least.
happened. Yeah. There was, I will say, like when you posted the picture and the picture of the tree,
Yes.
someone had the best comment ever that was like, the tree really stuck that landing though. That's literally one of my favorite comments because the tree literally just slid from where it was perfectly upright to right into the middle of the road.
Like on the lines.
Like on the lines.
Yeah,
Like
it looks like an island. Like the road was a river and this is an island.
Like it was just always supposed to be there.
And I'm assuming that the whatever, I don't know how these things work, but
my
like
God.
that's the whole tree and the root system and everything just came down with the mud, right? So it's just propped up
The
standing
whole
there.
kit and caboodle. The whole thing.
Like somebody with a big
Just-
cherry picker thing could pick it up and go transplant it someplace
Replant it
because
somewhere
it's
else.
fine.
Like they could just scoop
They're
the whole
probably
thing
going
up,
to
That's right.
relocate it.
They'll take it
because it
to
all came
Armstrong's nursery and be like, "This is for sale. Anybody want it?"
But charge a premium because it's the tree that came off Evangelist Crest.
Seriously, this one's meme famous.
They either chopped it up or pushed it over the side.
Right? They're like, "Well, I don't know, guys."
They have got their hands
Yeah,
full
they're-
right now.
Yeah,
They're not.
with the road.
Yeah.
And all the slides.
Excuse me, Jay. Could we get Lindsay to put her microphone a little closer to her face, please?
Oh, good call. Thanks.
Like this.
Good job, Lindsay. Lindsay's new. Sorry, the rest of us,
I'm
we're
new
so
here.
used to this. But
Well done.
is it better now?
Mike?
Hey,
How is it
Lindsay,
now?
give us a monologue.
You have to go like this. Is this on?
Yeah.
Is this working? See, now we've come full circle.
Yeah.
It's a
We're
full
good.
How's
circle.
this?
You really are a good host. You're doing callbacks and everything.
It's like you've done this before.
It's from last time. That
All right.
behind
So
the desk.
who will we see tomorrow at Haggerty? Because we can't go to the Crest because it's closed and going to be closed
Right.
for a long
I
time.
am not going to be able to go because I will be in attendance at the Magoo Air Show.
Road hug.
I am going to the Magoo Air Show, which should be actually really cool this weekend if there are local folks. Both the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds
Huge. That's
are
awesome.
performing, and it's very rare
What
that they
airport?
fly. It's at
Point Magoo.
Point Magoo,
Oh, God,
which is
I'm
up by
sorry.
like Thousand Oaks. So it's the Naval Air Base at Magoo,
Oxnardy.
Oxnardy. Yeah, that should be a pretty cool thing. But I'm going to be there tomorrow.
Wow, I didn't realize it was actually there, like on the base. That's super,
Yeah,
super cool.
Very cool. They're expecting pretty big crowds though, because Thunderbirds and Blue Angels is a big deal.
That's all
together.
generations. You got the old ones, the new ones.
Yeah, it's all the things. I think it's like F-18s and F-16s, so it's pretty. It's going to be pretty sweet.
Did you?
It's
see-
going to be pretty epic.
Yeah, epic.
pretty epic. There's a marketer.
Maverick.
It's gonna be pretty
No,
epic.
I'm just
Somewhat
kidding.
epic.
Marginally
Medium
epic.
Yes.
Did you see the new Top Gun movie?
Oh heck
movie.
yeah! I saw it twice in IMAX, baby.
Really?
Twice in IMAX.
That's
So
commitment.
obviously, there's the answer. You definitely enjoyed it.
I loved it.
We did too, but we didn't expect to. We thought
loved
like,
it.
all right, it'll be cool if we like this at the end, but we didn't expect anything, and we fucking loved it.
Loved it. I thought it was super appropriate. Like the storyline that they've created was super appropriate and wonderful. The only thing that kind of bugs me
Give
about
it to me.
Okay, so
And
the
it's
only
be the
thing that
same
kind
thing.
of bugs me about some sequels is like we have to literally recreate exactly the same thing, like almost scene for scene. It kind of bothered me that the kid of Goose plays the piano, wears the shirts, does the mustache. Like it just is like it's a little bit like too much. Like maybe give him one of those attributes that he does.
None of that shit bothered me as much as
Really?
the stupid love story. We created a role for Jennifer Connelly for no
Oh,
reason.
but come on, Penny Benjamin. Like, I mean, okay, so
that her name?
maybe you don't remember this.
Oh.
But when the two of them in the first movie,
Oh,
when Goose
she's
and
in the first
Maverick,
movie?
no,
Oh.
but they mention her in the first movie.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, they do. So when they actually after they screw up and
My one thing may just go away, may be
dude.
dissolved right
No.
here.
Yes, it's totally resolved. So when Goose and Maverick are standing up in front of the colonel or the commander or whatever, and he's like, "I'll have you flying dog shit out of blah blah." Like you screw up this
Principal
much.
from Back to the Future, right?
Yeah,
James
yeah.
Tolkien, right.
So when they're like up in front of him and they're
Does
like,
the flyby. God damn it, that's twice.
no, not that guy.
Oh,
The
shit.
bald one who's like the admiral.
Right,
He's like
but
the admiral. He's like the commander of the ship.
Yeah.
He's the one that he's like, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity, and it kills me that I have to do this. But whatever the other one who
James
just
Tolkien.
had his meltdown in the thing, he can't do it. So, and he's like, Maverick,
right,
you've
bro,
been
that's right, you couldn't-
Maverick, you've been like a string of screw ups your whole life. Admiral's daughter, this, and literally after he says Admiral's daughter, Goose leans over and he's like, Penny Benjamin?
No.
And
Yeah.
Maverick's like, I don't know, man. What do you got?
So,
Yeah, I did that too.
Wow.
And this is Penny Benjamin.
You
And so
blew my mind.
they've had apparently off and on relations.
Then I'm fine with all
Yeah.
of it.
It's-
Because it just
yeah.
seemed like wow, they just created this for this.
Nope.
If it was a thing, then I love it.
It was it was such a quick thing, and if you didn't catch it,
did you know that? And
oh
get
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I
you
knew
did.
that from. I mean, when I was 16 and in the movie, I was like, I want to be Penny Benjamin.
Right.
Like who's
What?
who is this
What
Penny
an amazing-
Benjamin woman?
Are you kidding? So you remember that from
Oh,
the first movie?
100%.
Yeah.
Get out
Completely.
of town. Both of you did.
When
And what a
yeah.
great name, like Penny Benjamin. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
Well, the Admiral's daughter.
Penny
Yeah,
Benjamin,
Penny
the
Admiral's
Benjamin,
daughter.
The Admiral's daughter. It is
Yes.
memorable.
And then
Shit.
look at the car she drives. My
Okay, you
God.
got me there. It was great to have
Come
the 911,
on.
but I was like, somebody else could have driven the 911.
Well, I thought it was good, and I liked that whole setup. I thought it was great. It was
But
believable. I
because
thought
you
it was
gave
cute.
it to me, now I buy it. Now I want to watch it again.
Let's do it
Movie
right
night.
now.
Movie
Or
night.
movie night.
Order
Yeah.
pizza.
I love that
Lindsey
the
pizza.
opening. I love that the opening was exactly the same. The music, and I loved. Here's another thing that I loved was they used the same card, card for the production company, Simpson,
time-
Simpson Bruckheimer. Even though Don
Simpson's
Simpson
dead.
has long since passed, I thought that
Did
was
he direct the first one too?
no,
Tony Scott.
just
Tony
produced
Scott
it.
directed.
Tony Scott did the first one, but I just thought, oh, classy, super classy. I loved it, and they basically like recreated it, kind of frame for frame, and I just thought it was. I was like,
With new shit.
well, it's a
love
nice
this.
little honor tribute.
So perfect.
It felt
yeah,
good
super appropriate.
That movie is that opening scene with the don,
Yeah,
and all the
yes.
noises and the sounds on the aircraft
Ding,
carrier.
ding, 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 ding,
But
ding.
even before that, with that
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah.
the crazy,
the
whatever
the
it
Hans
is.
Zimmer,
Hans Zimmer,
shit,
yes.
whatever it is that he,
Oh, amen.
whatever
She got it
instrument
all.
that is, like, yeah, it's so good. And the ombre, like sunrise or oh, jeez, sign me up, people.
Wow. Did you ever think of joining the Navy?
No, not the Navy.
Because you like those male ships.
The jets thing is a
believe
really
it's no
cool,
boat.
is like a really super cool thing to me, which actually leads me to the panorama story that I'm writing. But but my dad was in the military, so my dad was West Point, class of 1970, and I remember when I was 10 years old, we went to his 10-year reunion, and I was like, I'm going to West Point. I'm coming to this school. And my mother was like, over my dead body. You are not going to military school. You are not joining the military. And I was like, but it's so rad. And I'm super patriotic person. I come from a long line of military people. My dad was in the Army. My brother was in the Army. My grandfather was in the Royal Air Force, and he was a flight instructor for pilots in World War II.
Wow.
He taught Americans how to fly, and so like the military is a really important part of my family, and so yeah, just super, super cool.
But you don't have the discipline to write 1,000 words every week?
I have so much to do. I also have a lazy gene, I'll be honest. I like sometimes sitting in front of the TV and eating jelly beans and
You
just,
deserve it. You deserve it.
Is that
But-
from the other side of the family?
Yeah. That's my mom, because my mom, my mom was a dancer on Broadway for 20 years. That's not a slouch
No.
job
No.
either.
Nope.
So I had to just be the relaxed one in my family, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe it skips a generation.
Yeah, let's say that.
We'll go with that.
Let's go with that
See,
one.
we're gonna package it that
I
way.
think it's East Coast, West Coast. She came out here and just chilled out because that's what happened to me too.
That
Like
is,
the
that's
first
right.
few years out here, I was like, "What is with this town? It's so slow." Because New York, go. Look at us now.
Totally.
Whoa, slow down, everybody.
Seriously. I'm like, what? What's your...
Chill.
That's right, bro. Come on. But speaking of jets, I had this
Oh, right.
amazing opportunity. So I have a good friend that I knew when I was in grad school, and he was in college. He went to Cal, Berkeley, and he was like, oh, full on ROTC, like, oh, I'm gonna fly jets when I'm out of college, and he was Marine Corps all the way.
Hang on, I have to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Everything okay with your bra there, Lindsay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh,
Okay.
hey.
There was
The
kind
mic
of an
probably
adjustment.
caught that and not me
Family-
talking.
There was some kind of an
Family show.
adjustment
Okay.
there. No, it was all on camera, so I
Oh,
wanted to make sure
okay,
that
great.
it was...
Now that we're all right. I got you.
Just making sure everybody's awake.
We're all here
Keeping
for it.
interesting.
We're here for all
For
of
the
it.
podcast listeners,
The
Lindsay was making an
podcast.
adjustment.
That's right.
But back to Lynn, though.
I mean, so anyway, my friend Cordell, turns out he became a Marine Corps fighter pilot, and he had a friend who also did the same job that he did. This guy was like next level, Top Gun instructor, Top Gun senior instructor.
Whoa.
Really super.
He's Tom Cruise.
He is basically
Or
Tom.
Maverick.
Yeah, he is Tom Cruise. Just without the sick garage, I think, and those
Ooh, that
cars
was-
that he had.
That was pretty cool.
But I had an opportunity to talk to him because he just went to the Porsche Experience Center not all that long ago. It was his first experience, like in a track situation, with a car that was sort of a well put together performance and handling machine. And I'm going to interview him and kind of talk to him about what he thought about that experience versus flying jets and if there are any kind of correlations between those two things. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I think it should
That's
be
for Panorama?
That's for Panorama.
Nice
So,
tie-in, Lindsay. That was ridiculous.
Sneak peek, guys.
What a Lynn, nice freaking segue there. I'm blown away by the segue.
Well,
It was good.
She's a professional.
Yeah, I know, but didn't I bring up Top Gun? And then that was I'm so impressed.
Well, but I'm really glad that you did, because I wanted to talk. I did want to tease the Panorama story a little bit.
So good. It's so impressive.
And it was so organic.
There you go.
Well, I'm really interested because I have been amazed by the parallels between high performance driving, paddleboarding, skiing. I keep finding things where I'm like, oh, this is just like driving at the track. And you wouldn't expect that.
But you want to know why? Especially the skiing. They're basically line choice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you also like traffic management.
Have you ever done any off-roading?
Not yet.
Okay, because off-roading is the same kind of thing. It's all line choice. It's all picking your line and going, okay, where do I want to go now and why? And what are the issues?
Knitting the turns together.
Yeah. So I bet you would take right to it because it's the same animal.
Isn't all racing kind of that way?
I mean, it is. It's just in a different way because you're not necessarily. It's not necessarily speed all the time when you're off-roading,
Right.
but it's just another example of it. And just because your vehicle can do something doesn't necessarily mean that you should be doing something.
That's the skill of being able to recognize and
Right.
assess.
But I
that.
think women too are also much more conservative when it comes to off-road motorsports. They don't need to be like, well, I can do that, so I'm going to do that. It's like, well, I can do that, and I know the vehicle can do that, but I know I can also do this. And this may not be as gnarly as this is, but I know that I'm not going to break my vehicle.
Why
And
do
I
we have
think,
to do it at 10 every single time?
Why do we have to
Right.
when you can get there at 6?
Yeah.
And then you don't
6
break
on this one, 7 on the next
and then
one,
you
5 on
don't
the
break
next
your
one, 8 on the next
vehicle,
one.
and you
Sure.
can can drive it home. And I can't wait until you get a chance to talk to Emmy Hall about this very thing, because she did the Mint 400, but she did it in the Hoopty X class, which is basically
It's one lap,
It's
right?
one lap, so it's 100 miles. And you kind of build your own personal car into like a race car, and line
Hers
choice
kind of already was, but she did a tremendous amount for this.
That she did so much work on this car, and I'm super proud of her for doing that all by herself. She had some help, but she did a lot of work on her own. So she learned a lot about building out the Miata. She drives an off-road Miata. But I know, right?
It's
Off-road
barely a Miata
like,
left.
what?
It's so awesome.
It's very cool.
Yeah, buddy.
But she had to really protect it, and she had to really take care of it on this course. And there were other guys who were doing the same thing that did not make it to the finish line because
They thrashed it.
yeah, you gotta protect your vehicle.
She hung it up at one point, and
She did.
and
She had to get
still-
towed out.
and still
One, yeah.
I can't wait
Don't
to
spoil
have
it.
her. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess everybody knows the results.
But her telling the story,
Outstanding showing.
her telling the story about it is really fantastic,
can't
and she's great. I mean, she's a star on these podcasts.
We love her.
absolutely
We love.
awesome.
She's been here before. We
Yeah.
love her. I
Wasn't
met
she
you
on
two the
with-
same day.
She was on with who was she on with? Was she on with Reggie Watts?
I thought she was on alone, but maybe with
No,
someone else. I
she
can't
was on
remember.
with someone
Oh,
else.
Sean Lee, maybe.
Sean
Group?
Lee.
Purist Group.
She was on with Sean Lee.
Yeah,
that
I
was
think
a
that's what
great
it was.
episode. That was so fun to watch. They were great.
She's great. But I met you both the same day. We did the Smoking Tire podcast together.
Oh my gosh, that's
You
right.
remember that?
I was wearing a kimono, and Matt Farah's like, "What the fuck are you wearing?" You
were
wearing a
kimono.
robe?
That's hilarious.
That sounds like a story in itself.
But
Why
it
were you
was
wearing
just
a kimono?
well because it was kind of like a little over jacket to a
It was fancy.
thing. It was fancy. It didn't look like it. But he's
Well,
like,
sure.
dude, are you wearing a robe? And I'm like, it's a fashion statement. Sure.
You're like, I got here.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
Maybe. Don't know. Sure.
Who's
We
to
call it a
say?
robe. One
It was
person.
because you guys had just done the Rebel rally.
No, we were just going to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you wear pajamas.
I was not wearing pajamas. It was a fashion statement. I will stick
I'm
to it.
sure it was lovely.
It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous kimono.
Women
It's
dress.
bohemian, you guys. Come on.
Women dress for women. He would never get it.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Look at what he wears. Come on.
Right.
Really?
Can I say something here really quick?
Yeah.
I have to jet, but kimonos rock. I love them. They're fantastic.
Kimonos
This has
rock.
been
He's a fan
fantastic
of everything,
show.
folks.
No.
Now add kimonos to the list.
No. My wife has like 3 kimonos, and I love every single one of them.
Love it. We're here for the kimonos.
I got to roll. This has been a fantastic show. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Hey,
all of
Betty,
you.
before you leave,
Bye, Mike.
check out tomorrow morning on the Letterman podcast is the tribute to Rick Scheckman show. Full 2 hours with that guy there, the host of the Letterman podcast, Mike Chisholm. Have a great night, buddy. Love to Candy.
Peace and love, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye,
Yes,
Mike.
thanks, guys. Cheers. Bye.
Well, now that he's gone,
Yo, thought he'd never leave.
I bet
kidding.
YouTube will unfreeze and everything.
Well, I thought sure we were going to get spit from one of you two.
Yeah.
I
Spit?
thought You were choking on your water.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, that's true. You make more noise, but I'm the one more likely to spit, probably. That's funny.
It sounds
We're
like
a mess.
that's like a newlywed show question. Which one of you is more likely to spit
Right down my
in a funny situation?
peeking.
That's
I
right.
drool these days. It's
I
bad.
drool these days.
I'm like 100-year-old person.
In all fairness, you always had a drooling problem. You were always the drooler of the family. So how is
Not
it worse?
until I was asleep. I didn't know I
Oh,
drooled.
now it's when you're awake.
Yeah, now it's whenever anything I eat.
So it's like you've always been to the dentist, basically, and you're just like Novocaine.
Is that what it is? Because you can't feel it, or because you're just chewing, but it's not doing what you think it's doing?
All the above.
Yeah.
I bite my tongue. I can't feel things. Like, who knows anymore?
Well, no wonder you don't want to eat. Jesus.
I can't hold anything, so if it's not a finger food,
I have
it's
to
hard.
cut it.
Yeah.
Anything I make, I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, disaster.
No, it's.
But you're a
Absolutely
hot mess.
She always, she always says that. She always used to say that about
I did
herself. I'm a hot man.
Now you're just you're hot.
aspirations.
That's right.
Well, they say, whatever your words follow your whatever.
That's
words are-
right.
You know
You
what I'm
speak
saying.
it into existence.
I don't know. Thank you, Lindsay, for making.
Yeah.
my thought was not complete.
Energy follows thought is always what my
Oh, I like
my
that.
parents used to
Girls are the
say.
best. You're like
Pushing the
We
vibes.
got
just
it.
keeping
We
the
got
ball
it.
in the
Pushing the
air.
vibes.
It's
That's
so
right, man.
awesome. I love you
right.
both.
Happy to be
She's
here.
a new friend. We've known you a long time, but she's a new friend.
That's awesome. We
true.
love new friends. Are great. Everyone.
I
needs-
didn't mean for it to be the Lyn and Lindsay show. Sorry, that didn't occur to me too.
I
We're
mean,
sitting here.
I
It's
feel
very
like
alliterative.
I feel like you could also have way worse guests.
That's an excellent point.
Like,
I couldn't
That
imagine.
was going to get good.
I'm not even gonna go there.
yeah, good. I was curious if you would, though. I definitely was curious.
I don't know.
And who they would have been.
I don't know.
Well, so the Crest situation
Yeah.
sucks. It's going to be a long time.
Is there any kind of update? I mean, are you getting updates regularly from the Roadworks folks or no?
I get updates from certain people and certain agencies, but what I was going to say specifically, that like the updates of like the photos that I've been posting lately have been coming from the Angeles Crest Christian camp,
Okay.
which is a little bit further up than
Oh,
Newcomb's,
okay.
like by maybe 3 or 4 miles.
Okay.
They have been up there the whole time.
Oh,
for the
you're
last
kidding.
month, where
Have
they
they
have
been
been
stuck?
Yes, full The Shining style. So they are currently
Oh, wow.
out of gas, their propane thing. They
Oh, my
are
gosh.
almost empty with their water tanks. And there's like 15 people up there.
Is there somewhere where we can donate to these folks?
That's what we're trying to figure out now. It's
Okay.
not a mine. It's not a. They have to leave because of the road situation. Now it's
Sure.
gotten so bad that,
Yeah.
that I was talking to Nicole today, different Nicole, Lyn, Lindsay, Nicole, that they are going to need to leave for
To
probably like a couple months. So
relocate,
they are
okay.
looking for anybody who might have space for a very large family.
Wow.
Who they're the kind of people who typically help other people, and they don't necessarily have money to just go get a hotel for 2 months or something like that.
Right.
So this is kind of like a charity type situation where if you have some space where you can put up a bunch of campers and some really good people who will definitely pull their weight however necessary. For a couple months while they figure this situation out. This is totally out of their hands.
Wow.
Like nobody could have seen this coming. This is literally act of God type stuff.
Yeah, force majeure for sure. Yeah.
It's not people who didn't pay their rent; they're being evicted. Like, they finally dug themselves out of 10 feet of snow, and then now they're whatever. We thought it would all be wrapped up by now. We all thought we'd be back by now.
That's
But it's a month. So,
well, keep us posted on the website or on your Instagram if there are ways that we can help out.
Yeah.
For sure. Thank you. You're all
everybody
awesome.
wants to help.
Everybody's awesome. I think we can skip anything else that we didn't do. Believe it or not, there was things we could have done but didn't do them. East Coast Feeds will do next week. Business, is there any business that's important right now? The Motoring Club, our 5th anniversary party / fundraiser for the Autoimmunity Foundation / TV taping, anniversary TV taping, will be happening April 15th at the Motoring Club.
I'm going to write that down.
It's West LA. It's super cool. Be one of our guests, why don't you?
I would love to. That
Fun.
place is great.
Have you been to the new one?
The one, yeah.
Just opened up?
I just went. Kindred was just there with some of their electric, their kind of new old electric vehicles. It was a really cool space. Yeah. April 15th?
Yes.
Okay,
I
great.
had been over there just to check it out, and it was very nice. But then we went to an event there the other night for Motor Trend.
Oh,
to
yeah.
premiere
The Super Turbo Fun Time Show or whatever it is.
So close.
Super Turbo Storytime.
That's the one.
Yes. I really want to be on that show, Motor Trend people.
Oh.
Come on. Come
Say
on.
it again.
We might.
I
know
really
some
want to be on
people.
that show. That looks so fun. I'm fun.
Super Turbo Storytime.
Super Turbo Story. It looks awesome.
What
and
story
I love.
would you tell?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to see what other people told and make sure I don't tell the same story. Is it their own stories? Or is it other people's stories?
It's better if it's their own, but some of these are other people's stories,
Oh.
as we saw the other night.
All right.
Really?
Were you there the other night?
I got
I
some
was
good
not.
stories.
Oh, okay. Well, Paul Scheer told a story about the guy, I can't remember his name, the race car. I can't believe it. I'm so drawing a blank. The race car guy who funded the team with the marijuana and kept winning and kept winning and kept winning.
Oh.
Remember that from the...
Yeah, there was a whole
80s,
episode
90s.
of that guy on some it's like called Unreal or whatever
All
documentary.
All right, well.
Great show. Okay.
And Paul Scheer on
Yes.
this one. Oh, yeah. Your only source for officially licensed Late Show with David Letterman merchandise is the Hello Deli in New York.
Look at
That's right,
this.
Rupert G. in the Hello Deli. Go to hello-deli.com. Say hello to Rupert. Say hello for Nicole as well. Not only does Rupert love Nicole, but sometimes.
I cannot.
Also, maybe have a bagel and some cream cheese for all of us, or maybe a pastrami sandwich for all of us, because y'all are in New York and we're kind of not.
And he makes a good sandwich.
Do a Reuben or something really tasty. Thank you.
The menu is still all you can still get the Paul Schaefer if you want. You can still get the Letterman. It's very
Ding
funny.
dang, that's so good. Do a good whitefish salad. What?
Whitefish salad.
Oh.
Is it warm or cold?
Oh, it's cold. It's like tuna. It's like tuna salad.
No.
Is it good?
Yeah. It's so good.
You know what's I'm
You
making,
guys are obviously not Jews. What is
I'm-
wrong with you?
I love that I'm going gross about that, but something I will eat is imitation crab meat and mayonnaise into a salad, and I'll be like, oh, that's fine. Because it's the same thing. It's just whitefish all mixed up that they call crab.
I mean, I
It's
don't
all
know.
in the name.
What else is in your whitefish salad?
Oh, it's like a man. It's exactly like
I mean,
what
vomit later, obviously.
what a tuna salad is. It's like mayonnaise but it's good.
But
It's
tuna
gross.
has
Tuna's barely possible.
tuna has that. It's got a consistency that whitefish does not have.
I mean,
Well,
throw
tuna flakes.
And
enough
whitefish just
enough
mushes.
mayonnaise in there, and it's fantastic.
Oh, ew.
No, you guys.
Oh,
Come on.
You just added more of the mush.
I'm the only Jewish person here, apparently. Good Lord. Weak.
I love a good whitefish sandwich. I'm all for that.
No, stop it.
But when it becomes shredded with salad.
Oh, no, whitefish salad's so good.
I'm thinking breaded whitefish, right? But you guys like a cod, something like
But I
a
don't think they call it whitefish.
not like
just
fish
called,
and chips.
cod.
fish and chips though.
Right.
That would be.
Yeah, it is a white fish.
That's different. That's British, which I
Isn't
also
it the
am
same
British,
shit,
so
though?
I
Wouldn't you
could
just
get
have
totally
all
into that
mushed
too.
Up into a salad.
No, next time I come, I'm going to bring some from
Oh,
Art's
God.
Deli.
Yeah, could you microwave it when you get here, please? That'd be great for
Believe it.
everybody.
It's like tuna salad. What is wrong with all of you? Get a grip on yourselves.
You never had to
the
work in an
extra
office
mayo.
with that person who would bring in their salmon and they would go microwave it.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I do
Lunch.
that. I did that with broccoli all the time
And
in
then
my
brings it on the
office. And
plane?
just-
Ah!
I'm definitely a tuna salad
Fish
eater on a
is
plane.
different. That is so fun.
I love tuna salad.
I'll do a tuna salad on an airplane all day, and hard boiled eggs too.
Oh, you're terrible. That's just cruel and unusual punishment.
Bring it.
And I love both of those foods, but they're
Right?
stinky.
Do it. Embrace it.
Don't.
GVBC merchandise is available at Dual Shift, and check out our friend Byron Bauer's Spiritual N-Word on Hulu. It is an excellent special that I wouldn't even call a comedy special. It's an experience. It's a ride. It's only like 45 minutes or something like that. Enjoy it. Watch it. Do yourself a favor. Thank me later. And our buddy Adam Ferrara will be at the Marconi April 1st. Tickets are on Eventbrite. We will be there as well in support. Maybe participating as well. We shall see. April 1st at the Marconi Automotive Museum. Which, by the way, the Marconi, did you see that Rick just donated the General Lee to the Marconi?
I
So that
did.
is theirs now?
I
Very cool.
saw that.
That's
super
super
cool.
cool.
Yeah, he's
That's
got
so
a few
fun.
of a friend of ours owns some of the movie cars that are on display there.
Oh.
The original Batmobile, like the real Keaton Batmobile.
Is that the one that Ariel was sitting in?
Yes.
The video that keeps resurfacing?
And I hate to say this because we have a lot of friends at the Peterson too, but that is not the Jeff Dunham replica that is at the Peterson. This is the actual screen-used Batmobile that was from the Tim Burton movie and the whole bit, not from like Great
the
Adventure
real
or
one.
whatever. Yeah, I'm a stickler. We talked about
Yeah,
this.
we did. That's
because
true.
When you've laid your hands on the actual thing, or you get known to, you work your way up the ladder from replica to the real stuff. Whatever.
There's a difference.
Yeah, and some people care about that, and some people don't. The people who don't like to pass off their replicas or let people believe or whatever, and then
Right.
that irritates the people who do.
That's my issue.
But thank you to Lyn Woodward and Lindsey. Is it Jesch? I've been saying Jesch.
You've been saying Jesch, I think.
Is it?
I thought you were saying it correctly.
Well, what?
Jesch.
Jesch. So the N is silent.
There's no N.
Jeez.
J-E.
So yeah, the N is silent.
So the N is
So we'll just
silent.
take
Silent
that.
and invisible.
We'll just take the N out of there then. Is
the
there
N is
no?
invisible.
Are you thinking about the M in between the Lindsay and the
I
Jesch?
am. Here's the thing.
Are
I
you-
am dyslexic. So I have perhaps always thought that your name was Lindsey Jesch. Jensch. There is no
Well.
N. Is that what you're saying? Allow me to confirm with your Instagram.
I'll go back to your question. Yes, the N is silent.
Yep.
The
So that's
N
what it
is
is. Now I
totally
can see it plain
silent.
as day, but the M is before, and for my eyes, it looked like. Yep.
Well,
All right,
and that's
well.
not the first time I've heard Jensch. So,
Why?
because people like to add and subtract letters.
Oh, okay. I thought it
Oh,
was
yeah.
like Jensch the Wench, or like I thought there was some kind of a thing that I. would not have-
Whoa.
I'm not I'm like a garbage pail kid.
Oh,
I was
okay.
Frying Ryan.
Got it.
Or Crying Ryan.
You were.
I think it was
That's mean.
crying.
Frying Ryan. It was a dragon.
Those were after
I
my
hated those.
time.
Yeah, but it was the Cabbage Patch Kids. Wasn't that your
I
time?
wasn't into those.
No, because you're above it all. But
No,
wasn't
not.
that-
I was into other really stupid shit. But yeah,
What were you into instead of Cabbage Patch
when
Kids?
I was a little kid,
Instead of Cabbage Patch Kids.
like those like weird Beanie Babies. We didn't have any money,
Babies,
so
that
I
came out later.
Yeah, that's
but I
later.
couldn't afford those. But
That was
You'd
later.
like
That was
Osprey.
Smurfs, I really was super
little
into the little
Smurfs.
Smurf things.
Love it.
I was really pissed that there was only one fucking girl, like one girl.
It was such a
And then you ended up in
shaft.
automotive.
Do the math on the whole town.
Bullshit, one
Whole town,
girl.
one
Come
girl.
on, where's
Yep. Who
Well,
did-
one girl Smurf. There was Big Nose, who was the girlfriend to Big Mouth.
the? Anyway, I felt like, oh, this is a ripoff, but I liked them anyway. I thought they were cute and blue and whatever.
And they were stuffed down our throats, so what else did
Yeah.
we do?
I was more of a stuffed animals person than like a characters person. I had all kinds of stuffed animals, and then of course I played with my brother's Hot Wheels.
Is that how you got into cars? No, we already you
Got into
it was a
cars
whole-
because of my dad's car.
Yeah.
Cars. So yeah. Curious.
I didn't mind playing with. I never liked the Barbie dolls, but I liked all the Barbie stuff because there was cars. I liked the house. I thought that
Yeah.
was neat. I didn't have any of these things, but I
Yeah.
would always be secretly like if we went to a friend's house and
Yeah.
like the sister had that stuff. I always I totally wanted to be
Well,
playing
because
with that
it's
shit.
adult, because that is like make believe adult stuff, and I think as a kid you're always like, oh well, I want to be an adult because that's what you.
You think that makes
Yeah,
sense?
yeah.
Maybe.
It's like playing house. It's like, oh, I want to, because you're trying to emulate like those adult people. You're trying to
True.
sort of like, oh, well, this is we're constantly just like that's what we're as little kids. You're like
You're
being
right about
taught
that. I
how
definitely
to
wanted to
be
like,
an adult.
be an adult
Yeah.
as a kid
Yeah.
for sure.
Because that's what's being modeled for you.
totally.
And the cars were cool.
And we knew that we're headed there.
Metallic hot pink Corvette.
I think of the Corvette for sure, but just
Yeah.
the house was neat, like that Malibu house or whatever. As a kid, I totally like. If I ever went over and started playing with it, I would have like. I never went to friends' houses first of all, so this is it's so rare.
Funny Barbie story. I had Barbies, but they were hand-me-down Barbies, so they were all the Barbies from the 50s, and
Were
they
they
all had the
cooler?
old.
So
well,
did they have the
Like
50s
old flight
body
attendant
type?
outfits
now
instead of
they,
stewardess
so they had
outfits?
old outfits, and I was like, this is kind of bullshit. Like
The
they have like
one-piece
the
bathing
one-piece
suits
striped, the
were
black
like-
and white striped bathing suit
That went to the knees.
that went. Yeah. So I
The
kind
bathing
of
costume?
they were now they're like vintage pieces that would be worth thousands of dollars
The
had
real
I not
Barbies.
opened. Yeah, but I've at the time once again they had like poodle skirts, and I'm like, this is the 80s or the 70s. Like, come on. So yeah,
I was
I
allowed
didn't-
to play with those dolls because the hair had been cut. And that doesn't grow back.
Does not grow back. That's a lesson you learn
My
once.
mom cut the dolls when she was younger, the hair.
Oh, I see.
and
Yeah.
so I could play with those ones, not
That's
good ones.
terrible. So
Hair
all
did-
of yours had short hair because of this, because she cut the hair. A long
The
time
ones
ago.
I played with, a lot of them had short hair.
Yeah.
And then did you have like a collection of display Barbies that you could look at but not
No,
play
I
with?
played with them differently. But I was
I have never
careful.
seen her take great care with things, so I'm curious what your light play was like.
I didn't cut anything. There was no
I
scissors.
didn't cut anything.
All their
I
limbs
did-
are intact.
I wonder what amputee
didn't
Barbie
like-
is going to look like.
I didn't play a lot. It wasn't fun ever. So my Barbies were like, I looked at them and waved. But I
Okay,
didn't-
That's
so
what I was gonna-
wait, were you also a young person who was just like, just get me to the adult bit? Yeah. Okay.
But I was
makes
going to say,
sense.
I can't imagine you from what I know of your childhood ever taking the time to sit and play with the Barbies, and you're saying you didn't because she was so active. There was
Yeah.
always extracurricular stuff. There was always activity.
Yeah.
Nobody
I
sat.
didn't play. It was for when I babysat, so I was comfortable talking about things. But
Yeah. Well, you
I
were a
wasn't
captive
good.
audience. Yeah.
Oh, Lindsey Jesch with no N, hilarious.
No end.
No end.
I mean, I wrote
Invisible
I've
N.
said it and written it with the N forever because my eyes saw it there, and it clearly isn't as I just saw
Really
now.
amazing.
It's like the Berenstein Bears. We've had a universe
Oh,
shift.
the Bernstein Bears. Is it Bernstein?
No, it's Berenstain.
Berenstein?
Right?
This is an
All
interesting
right.
moment here.
This
This
is-
is
I know.
interesting how time does
Yeah.
change things because I also grew up with Berenstein Bears, but it is
And I
if you
grew up
look
with
factually,
Berenstain.
it's Berenstain Bears and always has been.
Interesting.
So it's one of those Mandela effect type things
Okay.
where
All right.
people insist we've gone through a time warp or a universe shift or something. Dimensionality.
Probably have.
Constantly.
I've been-
We are all
I've been
whipping through
asleep.
space and nobody ever thinks about
Right?
that.
Flipping around and
They think we're in one place and the
How are we
sky
not all
changes. It's
dizzy?
like, nah, man.
it's all crazy.
Jay, I want to know about the sister with the Barbie. I want to know why she's in.
What?
The
You
friend.
said if I go to a friend's house and the sister had Barbies.
Oh, well, I said that. I meant to. I don't know. I meant like if they had a. Did I do this for
Yeah.
sister? Oh. Used to be a brother? I don't know. Identified it as sister. I guess I meant that I didn't go to my friends' houses and then play their Barbies. I didn't. It wasn't like
Oh,
a
you
girl.
went-
It
yeah.
wasn't like a girlfriend's house. It would have been like, oh, if I was at a friend or family member's house and then the sister had these things. Basically, I wanted to be playing with them and I
Right.
couldn't. That was
Yeah.
that was the
You
takeaway
didn't
there.
feel that you could.
Not the sister. All right, honey, I'm off. I gotta go see my sister
Gotta
for
go.
dinner.
Perfect.
Be at the Motel 8 with my sister.
I'm so forgiving. Now that I'm broken,
What?
I'm so forgiving of everything.
This doesn't actually happen. Don't say that right now. I was just kidding.
I know you're kidding. But I was clearly very different before. And
This could become a very different show.
I know.
I
I'm
love
not
it.
into. I don't
didn't.
want to. We're gonna have the guy here to talk about the polyamorous lifestyle, and I'm
Everyone
curious to learn
knows
about it. but
Oh,
I'm not-
there's a
I don't
person
need to
who's
have it.
coming to talk about that?
He was here the other day. He's a car guy, but then he also happens to live that lifestyle. When he brought it up, I go,
Okay.
"Oh, if you're comfortable talking about that, you come on the show and we'll talk about just that because I'm curious to hear
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
what that's like for you, because I don't think it would work for me. I'm too of the old school where I don't think that would work for me.
Yeah.
But these new kids where everything's a metric and they're like, well, I get this for that, I get this for that, I get this for that. I'm like,
Oh,
they
is
probably
that?
love
Do you
it.
think that's why? Because everything's kind of transactional.
And
Yes. Swipe
compartmentalized.
left, swipe right, get this, get that. I like my sex here, I like my love there, I like my cake here, I like my steak there.
Oh, that's all.
I'm not saying it's like that for them.
No. Oh, yeah.
I think
That's
it's all a
interesting.
legitimate relate, but I think people in general, everyone can be with everything everywhere all at once. Have you heard?
Oh God, I can't wait. I want to
Wait,
see
what?
that so
You
bad.
haven't seen it? This is
No.
the first year in my entire life that we have both seen the fucking winner of the Academy Award.
Wow.
We saw it when it first came out when nobody had heard about it.
I heard about it a long time ago, and I was like, that
So
looks
good.
great.
I had to watch it again just to wrap my head around any of it. It's
Okay.
really
Good.
thick.
All right, yeah, I gotta
recommend.
watch that. Okay.
But
Awesome.
point being, everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah, is that sustainable though?
We've
I guess we're gonna find out.
It's always been that way. It's just that we didn't have we weren't looking at it from that perspective. We as people, we didn't have the.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
No, I mean I'm agreeing with you. I'm like, okay, I'm just agreeing with you.
You know what I'm saying? Consciously, universal consciously, like we didn't look at things that way.
Yeah.
And now we've seen enough of life that I think it's becoming a little more transparent.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
I'm
Deep-
on board,
especially
I'm
if
on
you
board
Deep
with
on
that.
the zoom
That
out,
is
huh?
Deep. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
No? Too much?
No, not at
No.
all. Not for
Well,
this
if you
show.
look at the last few years.
Today's show is deep thoughts. That's what you have to call. That's what you have to title it. Deep thoughts.
Deep thoughts.
That's right.
I used to work for Saturday Night Live. You know that, right?
Yeah, I did know that.
With Jack Handy.
Did you
Right.
write that?
No, I didn't write anything. Are you kidding me? I was a fly on the wall. Ironically, the name of the fucking podcast, I was just a fly on the wall.
I love it.
Stuart Smalley.
Stuart Smalley, you liked him?
Yeah.
You did? Oh, he was so annoying.
Those deep
That's
thoughts.
one of my
Yeah,
least
but
favorite
those
characters.
deep thoughts were
That's
really
not
funny.
Stuart
That was
Smiley.
Jack
That's
Handy.
Jack Handy.
Oh, Jack
Stuart Smiley
Handy.
is the guy who looks in the mirror.
I'm good enough. I'm
Smalley.
strong
Smart
enough.
enough.
People
That
like
guy.
me.
I just watch it a lot.
It's Al Franken, right?
Al
Yeah.
Franken
Yes.
is.
It was just
And
so
yeah.
I
absurd
didn't
that it was
like
funny.
it per se, but it was on in my house a lot.
Yeah.
was-
I'm grateful you were an NBC family.
I feel like
that.
there was a deep thoughts that was like, if it's raining, that means God is disappointed at you. Like, and I was just like, oh my God, they were so funny.
I think my favorite is sometimes I really hate myself. No, wait, not me. You.
I really feel like I could use that on a daily basis. Mostly when I'm driving.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah,
when
yeah,
it comes
all
up.
the time.
That's when it comes up. I love you guys. We love you guys. I love you. We love you. How do we plug things? Follow things. You're writing stuff. You got a
Yeah,
Instagram?
yeah. You can find me on the Kelly Blue Book YouTube channel all the time. Please go and subscribe. But we have review new sheet metal, all kinds of new stuff. I actually also just started writing a regular column, regular article for Oversteer for Oversteer, which is on which is part of our Auto Trader area. And then I do sometimes I'll do some freelance stuff for Haggerty or for other places like Panorama and that kind of good stuff. But you can catch me on Instagram too, Lyn with 1 N and then 2 underscores Woodward.
1 N, 2 underscores.
1 N, 2 underscores, baby.
One of these days we're gonna get that.
Someone
other
will
Lyn
get it
word
right.
wrangled away.
That lady. God bless her. God bless her.
I'm sorry. I have the J Ryan 111 underscore because the 111. You know what I mean? Because somebody else took it and is parking it and is probably waiting for $10,000 for it or something. It's like
Good luck to that guy.
have fun with
Right.
all that. Enjoy your parking lot.
That's right.
Lindsay, how about you? No N in Jesch. We know
You
that.
can find me on Instagram, Lindsey M. Jesch with the silent N. I took your second N.
There you go. It's
you
all
know.
yours.
Yeah.
And you're still speaking in the third person? I can't remember.
I am not.
Lindsay uses emojis, and I never really was sure. I had to confirm with her that it was indeed her daughter and not just her talking about herself in the third person.
Right.
It's just like whenever I do blah blah blah, and then for some reason it always goes to this emoji of a person with blonde hair, and I
Just
just
a
thought,
tiny girl.
Is she talking about herself?
Maybe.
It's a whole bit. It's not a bit. You thought it was a bit. It's not. So you can
No,
find me.
it was not a bit. No, I thought you were. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I thought there was an
Well, anyway. But you can follow Haggerty and Garage and Social, and then join us at the Van Nuys location of Garage and Social tomorrow for GBBC.
Yeah, that'll be great. Huge shout out to those guys who help us there. So
I know,
cool. Rod
Steve.
showed up last week, gave people a tour of the place and showing people his cars and everything. So nice of him. We ran into him at the Motor Trend thing the other night. If he shows up again this week, he's already the nicest
He's
guy in
solid
the world.
gold.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
already
he's
the
a great
nicest guy in the
he's
world.
a great
Pretty
person.
much.
His whole
It's good to
family is
see
so nice.
Amy.
Yeah.
Oh, was she
So
there too?
nice to see Amy.
I feel like I haven't seen her in a long time, but she looks great. It was so good to see her.
Looked great, seemed great, like eyes great, just happy about the family. She married off the door. Well, we can talk about this off the air, but their family's doing great things.
Yes.
They live in Wrightwood now too. They've got a place in Wrightwood, so they
oh
have to
my
go all the way
gosh.
around
About
the
it.
other way.
Oh, yikes. Okay, that's a commute.
GVBC at Haggerty Garage and Social tomorrow. Van Nuys location. That's the Patrick Long, Rod Emery location, if anyone is confused. Next week, we're back with, I think it's Reggie Watson, Johnny Lieberman, as a matter of fact. So that should be pretty good.
Missed him by that much. Have us
That'll be a
all
fun show.
on. I'm just kidding.
Party show.
Let's get a real studio and a real show, and let's do all of that.
That'd be,
That'd be
definitely
amazing.
one to watch. Those guys are great.
We love you guys.
We love you too.
For reals.
Thank you for
For
having
realsies.
us.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah? Anything else? That's it.
No.
All right. We love you at home. Please love one another. That's it. We'll see you out there. Have a
That's
great
it.
weekend.
Bye, everybody.